Hello, this is Asian Movie Pulse Interviews. I am Panos Kotzathanasis, and today I'm here with Jian, CEO of Candee. How are you, Jian?
I'm good, Panos.
Okay, nice to have you here. We have this new service, Candee. Can you explain to me a bit about it? What it is
Yeah,
about, Candee?
yeah. So maybe I just rewind a little bit of where we are and how we ended up at Candee. So as we were kind of celebrating our 10th year anniversary at Viddsee, which is a creative platform for short filmmakers where we distribute monetize content. Well, I think as we were celebrating our 10th year anniversary, we asked ourselves, what's going to be the next 10 years? And especially representing storytellers across Asia and thinking about what's the next steps for storytelling. And I think one big thing for us was looking um, at Web3. And I mean, we see that as the next inevitable version of the internet. And so I think with that, that's kind of the birth um, of Candee, which is actually the parent company of Viddsee, which oversees Candee Labs, which is our Web3 first IP studio. And at the heart of it is that Viddsee remains a core part, the bedrock of the business. But Candee is kind of a place where we see as an entertainment ecosystem, bridging what we have established as a streaming, as a creator platform, as well as new things that we're trying to do in the Web3 aspect of things. So, especially at the end of it, I think what we aim to do with Candee is really going back, to truly empower creation, and at the end of the day, continue to be able to empower creators to make more stories and make stories that will live on and be remembered. So that's the heart of Candee. Yeah.
And can you explain a bit more about Web3 and how Candee is going to implement it?
Mm. Yeah, so Web3 means many things to different people,
Yeah,
but this is
exactly.
just my own my own interpretation of it and our own interpretation. So we see as the next iteration of the internet. So Web3 primarily consists of artificial intelligence, blockchain, and the metaverse. So we believe that Web3 is going to be the technology of the future. But what's really exciting for us, particularly for Candee, will be creators and fans, because this technology would enable creators and fans to actually grow equitably through this technology. So think about it, where this technology allows contracts which are really smart to be created at scale. And actually, that's the same foundation of like non-fungible tokens, cryptocurrencies today. But again, with these contracts, it serves as a really innovative way to actually verify ownership, just like when you sign a contract. But everything is done through the technology itself. So what happens is then we can tap upon this technology, like blockchain, through smart contracts to actually streamline these processes. And this opens up new potential monetization for creators as they engage with their fans, how their fans can be part of that process, perhaps owning part of their content or owning part of their journey. So I think we are really at the early stages, because it's a whole new emerging technology. And I think Candee is here to really open these opportunities up. We want to bring these learnings through what we call Candee Labs. And then we want to bring this back to the community to actually share with the creators, with the audiences, and also with the brands that we're working closely with in terms of new opportunities that can exist. So hence, that's kind of what we see as as the opportunities that exist in Web3 and how we are structuring ourselves to cater for the opportunities.
And can you explain a bit about the technology behind Candee?
Yeah, so good question. So I think the technology behind Candee, and actually will be what I see actually across the whole group, will be, I think one aspect is today we're actually driving distribution, data insights, and IP identification through artificial intelligence. So this allows us to actually understand the type of content and the potential of the IP we have on the platform today. That's kind of what decides us today to based upon what the audience is watching, based upon the potential and the velocity of what is doing really well. We use that as a way to, okay, this short film has a potential to turn into, let's say, like right now we're doing a 15-minute short film, turning that into a 6-episode, 1-hour drama for a TV drama. So these are kind of like one aspect of the technologies behind Candee. But on top of this is actually the new efforts like through Candee Labs. What we're doing is actually utilizing blockchain technology as well as also NFTs to actually explore new ways of fan and creator engagement. So these are different aspects of the tech behind what we're doing, as well as what we are also exploring.
And but how will creators be able to use Candee? Let's just start from the beginning. Let's say a creator has some content and wants to work with Candee. What would he do, let's say?
Yeah, so I think across the board, as we for creators, I mean, we can see Candee as an entertainment ecosystem. And that would include Viddsee as part of that. So they have avenues for distribution, monetization, and IP development, and that's kind of what today. If you're a 17-year-old creator, I just like making short films. I have a film to showcase. You can just start with that by just uploading to the platform, getting it there, and then being able to actually drive distribution, monetization, and development, IP development from there. So I think with the birth of Candee Labs, they can actually see more opportunities to be involved with actually even more Web3 projects. So what happens is that like creators on the platform will be able to work on more Web3 projects, while also new Web3 creators are able to tap upon our ecosystem and community that we have built to actually grow their own content strategy. So that's what Candee, how Candee can actually help creators and work with different creators.
And can you tell me a bit about the role of BBRC? What would it be exactly?
An example of that would be, so BBRC is a good example of a Web3 creator that we are collaborating with. I mean, the person behind the BBRC studio is actually it's a clothing line called Benjamin Barker out here, and it's Nelson Yap. And so for an example of a creator like him, and for BBRC, what we're doing here is that BBRC has actually quite a renowned Web3 project already. I mean, it was fully sold out. It's called Ivy Boys. It's like an NFT collection of profile pictures, but behind that, there's actually merchandise utilization. So you can actually use the NFTs to actually purchase and get different kinds of like clothings. And so what we're doing with Candee Labs is we partner up to actually turn this NFT collection into a whole story universe. And this story universe, how we're doing it is, while we built this story universe, we're turning it into a webtoon and eventually a TV show. So a fun fact of this, actually, Ivy Boys characters are actually developed in association with talent in actually a Korean Netflix show called Singles Inferno. The idea of it is there is this world that's been created in Ivy Boys, and then I think what we're doing is developing a TV show out of it. So that's the piece where we're seeing like two different worlds combined. At the end of the day, it could be a show, for example, on a Netflix of sorts.
And can you tell me a bit how the results of Viddsee were so far? How is it working, let's say?
So Viddsee, so I think across the board for Viddsee, I mean we've grown tremendously in the past few years. I mean, I think one aspect is in terms of creators. So I think today we represent a few thousand creators. So we have about close to 5,000 creators on the platform. We have like close to 7,000 over content that we're pushing out through the platform. And I mean, most recently also we've been also recognized by Financial Times as fastest growing company in 2023 in the list of them. And I mean, it's really exciting for us because I think the genesis of Viddsee has been about could we find opportunities for Asian creators in a place where Asian stories are, initially was hard to be found. And then the question is next is, what are the opportunities for these creators? So I think a lot of what we have done, and especially the growing community, actually shows really the momentum of people wanting to create, as well as also with actually people looking at Asia in terms of creating content. We're actually finding those opportunities for our creators. So I mean, this is just I guess in a nutshell, like some things that we've been seeing and growing in the past decade. Yeah.
Okay, so and what is your opinion regarding Asian storytelling at the moment? Do you think that there is still much untapped potential?
Yeah, for sure. Yes, I mean, Asia has like massive untapped potential, and I mean, for us, we're here to actually always find the next big talent, the next big IP, and I think of course with that, I think with Michelle Yeoh winning at the Oscars, I mean, globally, I think it's such a big win for Asia, right? And I think with the myriad of cultures, the variety of stories out here, I think we are just really at the start of what the world could see Asian storytelling to be. And I think with that is I mean, for us also, in order how to kind of like both open up the opportunities as well as also grow the community. I mean, two things that we primarily do is also we have two key storyteller programs in a year, which really constantly blows us away in terms of the talent, in terms of the content being identified. So I mean, the first one is what we call Jury Asia Awards. So it's actually an Asia-wide short film awards. So we're bringing international judges, and then we have like new creators or existing creators submitting their films. And that's kind of one way that we actually really get a bird's eye view of what interesting stories are emerging from across the world. So I mean, even last year we had a filmmaker from Kyrgyzstan, and it just really shows a very different style of storytelling, which I think in the past, being able to find such films, it's where do I even find it? So that's one aspect. On the other aspect is another storyteller program that we have is called the Storyteller Bootcamp. So it's actually a global bootcamp for creators, digital creators, where we're actually bringing international speakers and also key players like streaming platform speakers, creators, production houses, and be able to learn through talks and masterclasses. So I think and through this, that's kind of where we really see it's kind of like the new age film school where as everything is decentralized, you DIY how you create things. I think what we're doing is really as a community and as an ecosystem, how do we bring people of different expertise come together and actually learn? So I think these are two aspects that we see really new talent, as well as also a lot of untapped potential in terms of Asian storytelling.
Okay, that's good. And last question, I guess, how do you see the future in Candee in, let's say, in 5 years? Where do you see both platforms?
Yeah. So So I mean, we see the future as a place. We see ourselves as the entertainment ecosystem that truly empowers content creation. So what we are here to do is really to find new opportunities for creators, fans, and brands, and ways to monetize their IPs and their content. And that's gonna be what Candee will be.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it, unless you would like to add something, although I think you were pretty descriptive here. Anything else you would like to add, or?
No, I think, that's quite comprehensive.
Okay, so thank you very much. This was ASEAN Movie Pulse interviews from Panos Kotzathanasis and Jian. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.